Do you ever wake up feeling stiff, even after what you thought was a good night's sleep? Perhaps you've noticed a persistent ache in your knees, a fuzziness in your brain, or maybe your digestion just isn't as smooth as it used to be. It's so easy to simply shrug these things off and say, well, that's just part of getting older. We've all been there, accepting these little discomforts as an inevitable part of the journey. But what if I told you that some of the foods we enjoy every single day, the ones that seem so harmless, are actually quietly fueling that very inflammation that's stealing your comfort and vitality? It's not just about what you eat. It's about understanding how certain foods can subtly trigger a chain reaction in your body, leading to those aches, that brain fog, and that general feeling of being less than your best. In this video, we're going to uncover 6 common foods that might be silently stirring up inflammation in your body, especially once you're past the age of 60. Understanding these hidden culprits can truly be a game changer for how you feel every single day, helping you reclaim your energy and reduce those nagging discomforts. Stay with me until the very end, because I'll reveal something that might genuinely surprise you about one of these everyday items you probably think is completely innocent. Let's dive right into the first one, a hidden menace that's probably lurking in your pantry right now. And certainly in many of the processed foods we regularly consume, added sugars and sugary drinks. Now, when I talk about sugar, I'm not just talking about the spoonful you might add to your tea or coffee, though that's certainly part of it. I'm referring to the vast amount of sugar that's cleverly hidden in so many of our everyday items. From breakfast cereals and flavored yogurts to pasta sauces, salad dressings, and even seemingly savory snacks. Think about that morning muffin you grab, or the fizzy drink you reach for in the afternoon. These are often loaded with sugar that goes far beyond what our bodies can comfortably handle. The problem with these added sugars, especially in their refined forms, is that they get absorbed into your bloodstream incredibly quickly. This rapid sugar surge sends your blood sugar levels skyrocketing, forcing your pancreas to work overtime to produce insulin to bring those levels back down. Over time, these constant spikes and crashes can lead to a condition called insulin resistance, where your cells become less responsive to insulin. And guess what? Insulin resistance is a major driver of chronic inflammation throughout your entire body. When your body is constantly battling high blood sugar and insulin resistance, it's like a low-grade fire is being stoked inside you, contributing to everything from stiff joints and muscle aches to fatigue and even cognitive decline. For us over 60, our bodies might not process these sugars as efficiently as they once did, making us even more susceptible to their inflammatory effects. We might not feel the immediate discomfort, but over days, weeks, and months, this silent inflammation builds up, slowly eroding our comfort and well-being. The good news is, by simply becoming more aware and making a few swaps, you can dramatically reduce your sugar intake. Start by carefully reading food labels. Look for ingredients like high fructose corn syrup, sucrose, dextrose, or anything ending in ose. These are all forms of added sugar. Instead of sugary drinks, choose plain water, unsweetened herbal teas, or water infused with fresh fruit slices. Opt for whole, unprocessed fruits to satisfy your sweet cravings, as the fiber in them helps slow down sugar absorption, preventing those dramatic spikes. It's about retraining your palate and enjoying the natural sweetness of food. Now that we've looked at how those seemingly innocent sugars can stir up trouble, let's turn our attention to another very common culprit that often goes hand in hand with sugar-refined grains. I'm talking about things like white bread, white pasta, many breakfast cereals, pastries, and countless baked goods that fill our supermarket aisles. The issue with refined grains is that during the milling process, the most nutritious parts of the grain, the bran and the germ, are stripped away. These are the parts that contain fiber, vitamins, minerals, and antioxidants. What's left is primarily the starchy endosperm, which is essentially just carbohydrate. When you eat refined grains, your body processes them very similarly to how it processes added sugars. They are rapidly broken down into glucose, leading to those same rapid blood sugar spikes we just talked about. These spikes trigger an inflammatory response, contributing to the same cycle of insulin resistance and systemic inflammation. Imagine your body trying to deal with a constant rush of sugar, whether it comes from a soft drink or a slice of white bread. the effect is very much the same. For many of us over 60, our digestive systems might not be as robust, and our metabolic rate often slows down, making it even harder for our bodies to manage the sudden influxes of glucose without triggering an inflammatory cascade. This silent inflammation can manifest as persistent fatigue, joint pain, or even contribute to brain fog, making it harder to think clearly. It's like adding fuel to a slow-burning fire that's constantly smoldering within you. So, what can you do? The simple answer is to switch to whole grains. Look for products clearly labeled 100% whole wheat or whole grain as the first ingredient. Think about incorporating oats, quinoa, brown rice, barley, and whole rye into your diet. These foods retain their natural fiber, which helps to slow down the absorption of glucose, leading to a much more gradual and stable rise in blood sugar. Plus, the fiber acts as a prebiotic, feeding the beneficial bacteria in your gut, which is crucial for reducing inflammation and supporting overall health. It's not just about avoiding the bad. It's about embracing the good that helps your body heal and thrive. And speaking of foods that can subtly harm us, let's talk about something many of us enjoy on our breakfast plates or in our sandwiches: processed meats. I'm referring to things like bacon, sausages, hot dogs, deli meats, and cured meats. These products are often convenient and tasty, but they come with a hidden cost for our health. Especially as we age, the inflammatory potential of processed meats comes from several factors. Firstly, they are typically high in unhealthy saturated fats and often contain nitrates and nitrites, which are used as preservatives and can convert into compounds called nitrosamines in the body. These compounds have been linked to inflammation and various health issues. Secondly, the way these meats are processed, often at high temperatures, can create advanced glycation end products, or AGEs. We'll talk more about AGEs later, but for now, just know that they are powerful pro-inflammatory compounds that build up in our bodies and contribute to oxidative stress and cellular damage. Think about that sizzling bacon or those charred sausages. The very processes that make them crispy and flavorful are also creating these inflammatory agents. For seniors, consuming these processed meats regularly can exacerbate existing inflammatory conditions like arthritis, contribute to cardiovascular issues by promoting inflammation in blood vessels, and even impact gut health, where a significant part of our immune system resides. The persistent low-grade inflammation they trigger can contribute to a general feeling of malaise, less energy, and even contribute to things like high blood pressure, which so many of us are trying to manage. It's not about cutting them out entirely if you truly love them, but it is about mindful moderation and making smarter choices more often. And instead of a daily bacon breakfast, try lean, unprocessed protein sources like eggs, fresh chicken or turkey, fish, or plant-based proteins like lentils and beans. When you do choose deli meats, look for lower sodium, nitrate-free options, and think of them as an occasional treat rather than a daily staple. Swapping out just 1 or 2 servings of processed meat each week for a healthier alternative can make a surprising difference in quieting that internal inflammation and helping you feel more vibrant. Now that we've looked at how those seemingly innocent sugars, refined flours, and processed meats can stir up trouble, let's turn our attention to a couple more common offenders you might be consuming regularly without even realizing their impact on your body's inflammatory response. The fourth food group we need to discuss is fried foods. Think about your favorite crispy French fries, that irresistible fried chicken, or even those delicious donuts. While they might be incredibly tempting, especially after a long week, the way these foods are prepared makes them significant contributors to inflammation in your body. When foods are deep fried, they are cooked at extremely high temperatures, often in unstable vegetable oils, which we'll talk about more in a moment. This high-heat cooking process transforms the food and the oil, creating harmful compounds such as trans fats and those advanced glycation end products, or AGEs, that I mentioned earlier. AGEs form when sugars and proteins or fats combine through cooking at high temperatures, and they are incredibly pro-inflammatory. When you consume fried foods, these AGEs enter your bloodstream and can accumulate in your tissues, leading to oxidative stress and systemic inflammation. It's like throwing gasoline on that slow-burning fire inside your body. Trans fats, on the other hand, are notorious for increasing bad LDL cholesterol and decreasing good HDL cholesterol, further contributing to inflammation and increasing the risk of heart disease. For individuals over 60 who may already be more susceptible to conditions like arthritis, heart disease, or type 2 diabetes, regularly consuming fried foods can exacerbate these issues and make managing pain and discomfort much more challenging. That post-meal sluggishness, those unexplained aches, or even just feeling generally unwell can often be traced back to the inflammatory burden of foods like these. It's not just about the calories. It's about the molecular changes that happen when food is subjected to high-heat frying. So, what's the alternative? You don't have to give up your favorite comfort foods entirely, but you can change how they're prepared. Instead of deep frying, try baking, grilling, roasting, or using an air fryer. An air fryer can give you that delightful crispy texture without the need for excessive oil and high-temperature frying that creates those harmful compounds. When pan frying, opt for healthier, more stable oils like olive oil or avocado oil, and keep the temperature moderate. These small shifts in cooking methods can significantly reduce the inflammatory load on your body, helping you feel lighter, more energetic, and less prone to those nagging aches and pains. It's about enjoying your food in a way that truly nourishes your body, rather than harming it in the long run. Building on the topic of fried foods, let's delve into the fifth inflammatory culprit, certain vegetable oils. I'm talking about oils like soybean oil, corn oil, sunflower oil, safflower oil, and cottonseed oil. These oils are incredibly prevalent in our modern food supply, found in nearly everything from salad dressings and cooking oils to processed snacks, baked goods, and restaurant meals. While they've often been promoted as heart-healthy alternatives to saturated fats, their chemical composition tells a different story when consumed in excess. The primary issue with these oils is their very high content of omega-6 fatty acids, particularly linoleic acid. Now, omega-6 fatty acids are essential. Our bodies need them. The problem arises when our intake of omega-6s vastly outweighs our intake of omega-3 fatty acids, which are found in foods like fatty fish, flax seeds, and walnuts. Historically, our diets had a much more balanced ratio of omega-6 to omega-3. Today, due to the widespread use of these specific vegetable oils in processed foods and cooking, the typical Western diet can have an omega-6 to omega-3 ratio that's as high as 15:1 or even 20:1, when an ideal ratio should be closer to 1:1 or 4:1. This drastic imbalance creates a pro-inflammatory environment in the body. Omega-6 fatty acids, when in excess, can be converted into compounds that promote inflammation, while omega-3s are anti-inflammatory. It's like having too many fire starters and not enough fire extinguishers. For seniors, this chronic imbalance can contribute to a wide range of inflammatory conditions, from exacerbating joint pain and stiffness to impacting brain health and increasing the risk of chronic diseases. You might notice subtle signs like persistent low-grade headaches, increased sensitivity to pain, or simply not feeling as sharp mentally. These oils are often silent because they are an ingredient in so many prepared foods, making them hard to avoid unless you're very mindful of food labels. To reduce your intake of these inflammatory oils, start by being more selective about your cooking oils at home. Swap out corn or soybean oil for extra virgin olive oil, avocado oil, or even coconut oil for certain applications. These oils are more stable and have a better fatty acid profile. Secondly, become a label detective. Check packaged foods for these high omega-6 oils and try to choose products made with healthier alternatives. Or, even better, stick to whole, unprocessed foods that don't need a long ingredient list. Finally, actively increase your intake of omega-3 rich foods like wild-caught salmon, mackerel, sardines, flax seeds, chia seeds, and walnuts to help rebalance your fatty acid ratio. It's a powerful step towards calming inflammation and supporting your overall well-being. It's truly eye-opening to see how many of these everyday items can contribute to our discomfort. And we're not done yet, because the last food on our list is one that many people believe is perfectly healthy. But for some, it can be a real hidden inflammatory trigger. And this might be the surprise I mentioned earlier. The sixth and final food on our list that can quietly cause inflammation after 60 is artificial sweeteners. Now, this might come as a surprise to many, because for years, artificial sweeteners like aspartame, sucralose, and saccharin have been marketed as calorie-free alternatives to sugar. A way to enjoy sweetness without the guilt or the blood sugar spikes. Many of us turn to them in our diet drinks, sugar-free yogurts, or even in our coffee, believing we were making a healthier choice. However, emerging research is painting a more complex picture. The primary concern with artificial sweeteners, especially for long-term use, centers around their potential impact on our gut microbiome, the trillions of bacteria living in our intestines that play a crucial role in our digestion, immunity, and even our mood. Studies suggest that artificial sweeteners can disrupt the delicate balance of these gut bacteria, leading to a condition called dysbiosis, where the beneficial bacteria decrease and potentially harmful ones proliferate. When your gut microbiome is out of whack, it can trigger inflammation not just in your gut, but throughout your entire body. A healthy gut is essential for a healthy immune system, and when the gut lining becomes compromised due to inflammation, it can allow toxins to leak into the bloodstream, leading to systemic inflammation and a host of health issues. Think about that diet soda you might have with lunch, or the sugar-free candy you occasionally enjoy. These could be silently contributing to that underlying inflammation you're experiencing. For seniors, maintaining a healthy gut microbiome is particularly important. As gut health naturally declines with age, any further disruption from artificial sweeteners can accelerate this decline, potentially contributing to digestive issues, a weakened immune system, and increased systemic inflammation, which then manifests as those familiar aches, fatigue, or general feeling of being unwell. It's a silent, subtle effect that can build up over time. So, what's the actionable step here? The best approach is to gradually reduce your reliance on artificial sweeteners instead of reaching for diet sodas. Opt for plain water, sparkling water infused with fresh fruits or cucumber, or unsweetened herbal teas. If you crave sweetness, consider using very small amounts of natural sweeteners like stevia or erythritol. Or, better yet, embrace the natural sweetness of whole fruits. It's a process of retraining your taste buds to appreciate less intense sweetness, allowing your body to recalibrate and potentially reduce the inflammatory burden that these surprising culprits might be imposing. So, we've talked about how those sugary treats, refined breads, processed meats, fried delights, certain cooking oils, and even those diet alternatives can quietly fuel inflammation in your body. It might seem like a lot to take in, and perhaps even a bit overwhelming. But please know that even small, consistent changes can make a world of difference in how you feel. You don't have to overhaul your entire diet overnight. The goal here isn't perfection, it's progress. Start with 1 or 2 foods that you consume most often from this list, and try to make a mindful swap. Maybe it's switching from white bread to a whole grain alternative, or choosing to bake your chicken instead of frying it. Perhaps it's simply replacing 1 sugary drink a day with a glass of water. Each small step you take is a powerful act of self-care that can contribute to reducing inflammation, alleviating discomfort, and boosting your overall vitality. Remember, your body is incredibly resilient, and by making informed choices, you truly can quiet that inflammation, reclaim your comfort, and embrace a life filled with energy and joy. This isn't about deprivation. It's about choosing foods that truly nourish your body and support your well-being, allowing you to live your best life at every age. I'd love to hear from you. Have you noticed a difference in how you feel when you cut back on any of these foods? Or perhaps you have a favorite anti-inflammatory swap you'd like to share. Please, share your experiences and thoughts in the comments below. Your story could inspire someone else on their journey to feeling better. If this video has shed some light on your journey to feeling better and more comfortable in your own skin, please give it a thumbs up. And if you want more practical, encouraging advice like this to live your best life at every age, then subscribe to our channel and hit that notification bell so you don't miss a thing. Keep taking care of yourself, and I'll see you in the next video.